Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got Mr. BadTemperedBadger.
Hello.
We have got Miss Jen Corner. We've got Godless Scummer.
Oi, oi.
And we've got... I've never actually said his name out loud. We've got Bub.
BMillzebub?
Difficult
name to say.
Yeah, I just look at it and think, I don't actually know how to say that.
BMillzebub. Yeah.
BMillzebub. Call him Bub when I talk about him.
Bubs.
I can see that Bub's gonna be like be a lot easier.
It normally is just Bubs, isn't it?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Oh!
Yeah, pretty much.
And Mel has arrived just in time.
And
Right.
the one, the only, the lovely and beautiful scientist Mel.
Well, you're sweet. I can only stay for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we'll get into the first
Aw.
question
Okay.
quickly.
That's to answer a question.
Depends
Oh,
on the
okay.
question.
What's the question?
All right, question 310. What is the most important object you own?
Oh God,
Behave, Jen.
that
Hey.
probably my Kevin Smith shoes, where he signed that he feels we're Twitter married. These are his actual shoes.
Oh, wow.
Probably that. Close second is probably the Red State poster he signed where he says, "Melody, I fucking love you." Kevin Smith, but these are his actual shoes. So Silent Bob shoes, man. Signed. He says we're Twitter married, so that's completely legal.
That's completely legal.
Yeah. Did he make you sign a prenup?
No, he didn't. You know, it's on Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
It's on Twitter.
But if it happens on Twitter, it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally true. Totally true. That's absolutely correct. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm about to work here in a minute. So
Badger.
I wake up to go to work.
Where's the mute button?
Sorry.
I muted myself and I couldn't find the unmute button. Come back to me.
Badger.
We'll come back to
I'm
you.
trying to think about it.
Okay. Jen.
Oh, God, I have no idea. Yeah, come back to me. I honestly don't know what the most... I'm trying to think of something that I own that I would be absolutely devastated if I lost, and I am struggling to think of something. I mean, I can think of people I would hate to lose out of my life.
Are you
but they're
objectifying
people,
them?
they're not things I own. Yeah. But they're people, they're not things I own. You don't own people.
No.
So, I don't know if there's a thing that I own that I would be devastated if I lost. I mean, I'd be devastated if I lost some of the data I have on my computers because some of it's like photos and things like that. So in that sense, probably they're really important to me, but it's the data that's important, not the actual computer it's on, if that makes any sense.
Nerdy says,
So,
does a
yeah,
house
that's
class
probably
as
the
an object?
closest answer I can give.
Nerdy, no, you can't have a house.
Nerdy has to live on the streets.
Yes.
I've already got a hole in the ground. I've got pictures of you coming out of it.
Starkey says clean underwear.
Clean underwear. Okay.
Jeff?
I don't know, honestly. In all honesty, you know, I don't know if I've got that much attack. I mean, there's things I'd be upset about losing, but like really devastated. I don't know. Other than one or two sort of maybe kind of family heirloom type things, nothing really, you know. But,
Bub?
I think I'm going to have to steal the first part of Jen's answer. I can't think of anything that I would be devastated without.
Yeah.
He said nothing irreplaceable.
I've got
No.
I got something. If I lost this, probably wouldn't be able to get another one. This book here. maybe mainly just because it's who it's been signed by. So so I don't know. I'll never get the opportunity to meet the guy again. So.
Oh God, I could have said my Carl Sagan book signed by Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I went the Kevin Smith route.
You're a traitor to your field.
It's the first edition of Cosmos. I have a first edition of
wow.
Cosmos book that I had Neil deGrasse Tyson sign.
The only way that could be better if it was actually signed by Carl Sagan.
Yes, I had it signed a couple of years. I had it signed a couple of years.
Carl Sagan.
Hail Sagan. Yeah.
Hail Sagan.
Right, I've got one.
Go on.
Thank you.
That's when I met Neil, so it's cool. So.
I'm gonna go with my granddad's boating knife.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That kind of takes away from Cold as Fuck's his pocket knife. His dad got him when he was 18.
Yep, same kind of thing. I've got a couple of little things like my granddad's boating knife, my great granddad's pocket watch, that kind of stuff. There's a few little things like that, but that I would be very upset if I lost. And there's also just my phone, because they don't make phones like this anymore. It's an old Nokia communicator from the early 2000s.
Well, if you trash it, right, I've got one I can sell you.
Dave, is yours better and it doesn't interfere with the audio?
No, it's identical to what he's got.
Okay.
Oh, does the outside keyboard work?
I hope it's got like
I don't
proper
remember.
old school Nokia ringtone as well.
Yeah, it's got all
the
the
really annoying one.
I have to go to work, guys.
See you, Mel. Thanks for popping in.
Bye, Mel. Love ya.
See you later, Mel.
Bye.
Come on, my childhood chat. Not get in there.
Get it in there.
All right.
You haven't asked anybody else yet today, Badger.
Yeah. Well,
He has. He asked me in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah. I sent you at like 2 a.m. I sent Dave a message saying, all right, Dave. Looks like it's up to us to unite the community. We should talk about Brexit.
Yeah, that's a good way to unite the community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Badger, if you want to really unite the community, why don't you get Hissy on to talk about Brexit?
Because
That'd be interesting.
see, the thing with Hissy is I like Hissy. Hissy's great.
Don't talk to her about Brexit then.
I think that actually we wouldn't argue too much about Brexit. It'd be other stuff that we'd argue about.
Yeah.
You had fun yesterday.
Hissy's lovely.
I really enjoyed that stream I did with her yesterday. Actually,
That was really good.
What happened?
Nothing.
no, it was just a lot of good fun. It was just good.
They had a brain gasm about Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Good enough that we're going to go through the books. I think.
So
all of them.
was Granddad's
Yeah, it was so good they're going to do it again. Sorry.
I've got my grandmother's old binoculars as well.
Have you? Do you own any new stuff?
No.
He's an old badger.
I'm about to own a new PC.
Nerdy said his computer.
Oh, you're getting a new one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to because this one's fucking at it.
I get it.
Right.
Shall we move on to the next question, Dave?
I'm trying.
Sorry. That was my fault, and I promised to help you keep you focused.
Great job, Jen.
Yeah.
It's a nice short question. We can get through it quickly. Question 311. Should the voting age be lowered to 16?
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but
Like if you're old enough to join the army, you're old enough to vote.
yeah. You're old enough to get married. You're old enough to get married.
I'd agree with that. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
So I expected more
I
disagreement.
don't particularly care one way or the other, but I don't have a problem with it.
You don't think it should be raised?
It's just, I don't know.
There you go. That was easy, Dave. We all agreed.
Yes, you weren't meant to. You don't think it should be raised to 25 or 30?
Oh God,
The chat
God,
disagrees.
The chat
God,
disagrees.
no, give the Conservatives an even bigger fucking majority. Forget that.
It does seem that the
Wrong.
the problem you've got is, right, we have got, I'm going to monologue and get shouted at. Shut up with it.
Oh, we hadn't started.
The problem we've got is that, oh crap, I want to express it. Oh shit. Right now, they are more, they tend to be more progressive the younger they are. Or the more left-wing they are. Right, but is that only because they are not targeted within the electoral system? Does that make sense?
Yeah, possibly.
I'm not convinced it would have as profound effect on the movement to the left as some have suggested. I will go with.
No, I agree with you there, but I mean that's not really an issue when you're asking if should they be allowed to vote.
No.
I mean, just because somebody doesn't hold the same political opinions as me doesn't mean I think they shouldn't be allowed to vote. So.
It was my response to Jeff when he said that the Tories, if we raise the voting age, I think he's right. I mean, at the moment, Scottish independence right now, the people that like to dismiss Scottish independence as a Scottish a Scottish only issue, is massively neglecting the fact that if the Scottish get independence now, we're fucked. Politically.
Yeah.
Also, the Tories are killing off their own voter base at the moment.
They are very busy killing off their own voter base.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda says it perfectly. Kids tend to align with their parents' political ideologies, so it would almost be pointless. And I think you're probably right. She's probably right.
Yeah, sometimes not. But
the point is, they don't tend to change till they're older. Is my point. They tend to, up until probably early 20s. I think they tend to follow their parents. But
I don't know. I think I disagree with my dad's political ideology, although it's only some of it, and I agree with a lot of my mother's, but certain parts of it, no.
But you're not. Yeah.
I was hoping there was going to be some more that came on the end of that.
No, because the problem is you've been brought up in a nice vaguely balanced household from a political perspective, but most people aren't.
Yeah, nice balanced badger set.
Yeah,
your badgers are all balanced, are they, Badger?
Well, not at the moment. They've we've got one stuck in a tree. The others are trying to get him down.
Starkey says if they have a job and pay taxes at 16, then I'd agree them voting, but only the ones working. I'm less keen on that one. Jones says kids pay taxes here, but I wouldn't want them voting.
Yeah, but I mean, if you are somebody who's in their 60s, they wouldn't want an 18-year-old voting either.
One thing I'll say about lowering. One thing I'll say about lowering the limit of the age vote, it's not going to make the electorate any more fucking stupid than it already is.
Yeah. No. To be honest, potentially more well informed, especially if you add in a decent education class on politics. Right.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I think only I should vote, but then it'd all be my fault, so just actually forget that.
See, Cold as Fuck says, I'm from the north. I was a brainwashed Labour voter until my late 20s. I took the time to listen and realised I was wrong. I got to agree. I was very much I wouldn't say necessarily brainwashed, but I was very much a Tory being brought up. And then I realised I'm right wing, not wrong. That's wrong from the left point of view. In fact, I get told off for misreading.
I've the more that I actually do looking into political stuff, the more I find myself right in the middle.
Yes.
Just there,
more of a centrist.
Yeah, I find the more I I look into politics, the more that each time I redo one of those tests or look into where I stand on different issues, the more I find myself just, shit, I'm right. I've got the fence right up my arse.
The problem is that neither side has got the answers.
Topic.
Neither side has the answers. There is a level. I'm trying to, and the problem is, oddly enough, it's probably my biggest argument for Brexit, against Brexit, which I'm going to give away. Right, the problem is that organisation of people for certain tasks happens better at certain levels, and neither capitalism nor socialism, neither left nor right, solves either of those problems, because both of them are demanding more everyone fitting into vaguely set ideals. So it's not that either. There has to be a compromise, one way or the other.
Yeah.
To work, no matter. I don't think. No, that sounds really dodgy. Don't cut that.
Just having a look at my book.
Can we just cut out the bit where you say you don't think?
That's the issue.
Let's have a look at some more political books up here. We've got Rosa Luxemburg, Karl Marx, Leon Trotsky. Yeah, okay, this isn't looking good, is it?
No, I've read most of them, and I do agree. And the problem is they're not wrong in their analysis. I mean, especially Marx, he's not wrong in his analysis.
Well,
absolutely
actually,
not.
thinking about it, if you look at the fiction books that I read, that are my favourite books, I have 2 book series that are kind of my favourite book series, and they are sort of way vastly on different ends of the political spectrum in terms of the vague biases that they tend to conform to. I have the Republic Commando series, which is Star Wars, obviously. It's the best Star Wars in existence, which tends to look at things from a more right-leaning perspective. And then I have the Fourth Realm trilogy, which is about how the government surveillance is terrible and everything, yeah, and it tends to be much more on the other end. So I'm again, the fence is right up my arse.
I think an awful lot of the people that wrote about the original theories, when you get Marx and Smith versus each other, both of them have ideas that were jumped on by people trying to take advantage.
Why does Marx and Smith sound like a bookshop?
The Smith is what gets me. Is people trying to argue that capitalism means this, that, and the other, and the free market should take care of everything. Right, but Smith was very, very clear that companies should under no circumstances be trusted, and they should be heavily regulated because they've got their own interests. They cannot serve society unless they are heavily regulated. The idea that the free market will solve problems is outside of that. It's within a regulated framework. They're trying. The people that try and argue that capitalism requires less regulation.
What? I believe.
Say again?
Who are you talking about?
Adam Smith.
Adam Smith.
Adam Smith, right. I'm going to have a read of this, because that's kind of where I come into it. It's just, my views tend to be that individuals should have as much freedom as is practicable, and corporations should be regulated right up there.
I mean, you're basically talking about the birth of capitalism, the capitalistic theory.
Yeah.
And again, if you haven't read Marx, what Marx says about it as well, it is the insights you get from that, and then you look at the politics that's been put on it since and later, and at every point it is a corruption of ideas
Of the
without
original ideas.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Karl Marx famously said just near the end of his life, "One thing I know, I'm not a Marxist."
Yep. Yeah, I tend to be very much on the side of that. Corporations should be so heavily regulated that they can't sneeze without filling out 15 forms, whereas individuals should be, there should be.
That's not even that. It was
almost unlimited freedom.
We go back in America to, I think it was the late 70s, early 80s, when corporations, prior to that point, corporations were as responsible to its workers and society as an individual. So as much as they might have been, they were treated like an individual from a responsibilities perspective as well.
Yeah.
Right, and then all of a sudden...
So are we saving this political discussion for Badger's channel?
No, not really.
Yeah,
but we are going in a minute. Right, but the point is that after...
Get on my channel, have a chat.
Shareholders got together and sued the companies, saying that they should be the only ones that a company is loyal to. profits and returns to the shareholder are the only things that are important. And they
I
won.
was just gonna say, I hope any of the 16-year-olds who are watching this taking notes here, because we are arguing you should get the vote. So.
Right, let's get back to a more
You
much
should
more
vote for me for Badger Prime Minister.
a Badger Prime Minister.
I move that we form the Badger Party right here on this stream.
Yeah, it's great. I'll do it.
You'll do it.
Free
asparagus for all.
I'm not running for UK government though.
Right. Question 312. Would you rather be killed by being shot out of a cannon, dropped in a well, or impaled on a giant spike?
So
None of the above?
No, you've got to pick one. You're to
Right,
die
what are the
tomorrow.
options?
Say again?
What are the options again? Go.
Shot out of a cannon,
Yeah.
dropped in a well,
Uh-huh.
impaled on a giant spike.
now it depends. Can I nominate who the cannon is pointing at when I'm shot out of it?
Sure, but you die regardless.
Yeah, but
Do you die instantly with the cannon?
You die
if I've got
pretty instantly.
If I've got to die, then hopefully whatever happens to my body is I'm either going to take someone I don't like in the process, or just make a hell of a mess of their shirt. I don't,
Yeah, if the cannon is pretty much instant death, then I'd probably go with whatever's instant death, because being impaled on a spike sounds like pain for several hours.
Where I stole this
Or
original
then
question
drowning.
from, the being impaled on a spike had a long description about how slowly you were impaled on it.
It is.
Oh, can we hear that? Can we hear that?
No, because I don't have the original question in front of me. I only have the cut down version.
It was almost. It was an execution method in some parts, where it was almost similar to crucifixion. And how long it took you to.
Your own weight pulling you down, pushing you down.
That execution method where you sit on a saw and are slowly sawn in half upwards.
That's one.
Isn't that a film?
There's what? No, I didn't just hear that. Did I, Badger?
Yes,
I'm picking the cannon.
you're picking the cannon.
Yeah, I want to be.
Everyone's taking the cannon.
I want to die instantly. The cannon. If it's going to happen, I don't want to suffer.
I want to be shot like. Oh, shoot me at the Houses of Parliament. Actually, no, because then I'd die in London. That's awful.
Now have your head on a spike.
It was. See,
You have to find it.
Well, who says you're going to come out the cannon head first?
Oh, if it's the kind of cannon that kills you instantly, I'm going to come out of the cannon everything first. I'm just going to be.
All I think's the cannon is to be honest, I think everyone thinks the cannon is the right option. Nerdy,
It's the fastest
Sammy, Linda.
and least painful.
I would kind of like to fall down a well just because I want to see what's down there, but
you won't see a lot of those because it's dark.
But the problem with
nocturnal.
the problem with going down a well is you're basically probably going to drown.
Drowning's not so bad.
But you're going to be holding water for 24 hours until you're exhausted.
Just once you accept that you're going to drown, it's not so bad. You just go under the water and just do it.
So you want to be drowned then? I'm sure we can arrange that for special badges.
You're still going with
I'm still going with the cannon. I'm just saying the well's not quite so bad. The well's
Wouldn't a special badger drowning apparatus be against the law?
No, we're allowed to kill badgers.
No.
There
was a
you
call
are not
here.
allowed. You are not allowed to kill badgers.
Wait.
Certain sanctioned psychopaths are allowed to kill badgers because they are licensed to do it in gruesome ways that the government looks the other way about.
What gruesome ways are these?
They trap the badgers and just. You probably don't want to know, to be honest.
Well,
this conversation's got downhill quickly.
I just want to know how to kill badgers.
Impale them on a pike, shoot them out of cannons, and throw them down wells.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know the details, to be honest.
Does it involve a saw?
No.
Not with the badgers usually. No, that was a medieval torture method where they would either get the information out of you or kill you, because they would put you on a saw so that you were essentially sitting on it, and then they would gradually saw upwards through you.
Morton says, I would choose to be shot out of a cannon head first into a well with an impaling spike at the bottom.
Well, that's an impressive way to die.
It's just quite an impressive way to die.
Getting the record books.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure
How are you shot into a well, though?
Well, just straight. You go basically almost straight up. A nice parabolic curve straight down. I mean, it requires some targeting, but I know some gunners.
You have to do a few test shots.
You just point.
What? Dave's gonna make sure you're treated right.
You could just point the cannon up as well, and I'll try and take a photograph and see if the earth is flat. I'll go out like Mad Mike, you know.
Right. Question 313. Question 313. Would you rather walk in on your parents making love or have them walk in on you?
I've had both actually happen.
So what's worse?
Which was worse?
I think the worst one was my mum walking in on me and my husband at the time, because she, instead of doing what most normal people would do and turn around and walk out and just say sorry, she stood at the door looking at us going, I'm so sorry, I should have knocked first, I'm so sorry.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be worse in a way, because, you know, that's just like, it's the passion killing moment, isn't it?
It really was.
Okay. Yeah. My answer is them walking in on me. Because it's awkward enough that I have to touch another person just to be involved in this scenario in the first place. Just, I don't think I could do it in a place with other people present.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think I could be comfortable doing it even if they were just in the house asleep.
Well, that means Badger never has a threesome.
I don't like how Sammy.
Abhorrent to him, but
not with my parents.
No. I don't like how Sammy has phrased his answer. That walking in on them is better.
Yeah, definitely.
Walk in on them to assert dominance.
To assert dominance.
Nerdy says it's walking in on them. You're more likely to be a child and potentially have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You should not have sex at your parents' house for that reason.
Yeah.
So Jeff and Bub, answer.
I'm going to say them walking in on me be worse.
Yeah.
You have a weird sex face.
Do you know what's really weird? When you're in the middle of it and you look up and you suddenly realize the dog's walked in the room and it's just standing there watching you.
My dog always used to run out the room. So didn't like it.
Yeah.
Dropping these things.
I think I'm gonna have to say my parents walking on me, because then I wouldn't be able to finish.
Yeah, good point.
Run out. I'm trying to think if I've had it happen, and I genuinely cannot remember, which means probably.
I'm fairly certain that it's not happened to me. And I'm fairly certain I haven't walked in on them either, because I'm pretty certain after I appeared, they stopped doing it.
You'd be surprised how many kids think that.
No, I mean that for most of my life they slept in different rooms, and then that they now live in different ends of the country.
You were that much of an influence.
You can say it'd be
I
quite
like
a
Matt's basic point. If I've seen Dave's ass bouncing up and down, I'd run too.
Yeah.
Never seen me sat on the ball then.
I've seen the ball sit on you.
Right. Question 314. If you had to bury treasure, where would you hide it?
What? You cut out. I didn't hear a thing you said.
Sorry.
That's the question again, Dave.
Right, question 314. If you had to bury treasure, where would you hide it?
Nice try, thief.
Buried treasure.
I don't know if Badger's Hole would be a good place.
Crazy.
I hear people have been exploring his hole for years.
No offense to you, Jeff, but I'm not letting you near my hole. I'm sure you're a lovely chap.
Yeah, okay.
Right, why has the chat gone to Dave's arse, Dave's bouncing arse, Dave's arse?
Blame Math Pig.
Blame Math Pig. Right, Joan says in the cat litters box, cat's litter box, hashtag Dave's bouncy arse. Under the X. See, Morton knows how to do it properly.
Yeah, Morton knows what he's doing.
Have you not? Did none of
On
you
the
as
moon.
kids on the moon? How would you retrieve it? How would you get it there?
I don't know. You didn't ask for specific details. You just said
I think
where.
you would have to spend all of it to get it there.
Probably.
I think maybe I'd go for
Say again?
somewhere out on the moors or something.
Hmm?
Somewhere out on the moors.
Moors are nice and good, and people actually enjoy to find things there.
I think
I'm
I'd
not
have
telling you which
something.
moors.
Bodmin.
You'd never get it back.
No, that's the point.
I think for me, I'm gonna bury it like in sort of like one of those sort of like things with all the booby traps from like an Indiana Jones movie or something. You know, that's good. You know.
I'd probably make up a story about making a time capsule about something and bury it and have a ceremony and everything, so everybody knew where it was, but they all thought it was something else.
That would work. Orla says, I would bury it under my ex's cadaver. That way, if someone digs down, they will find him and not the treasure.
Good idea.
Yeah, graves are always a good option. You know.
They do seem popular. Sammy, I really hate digging though, so it wouldn't be very deep.
I'm really good at digging holes for myself.
Most badgers are.
So technically, if it's in your burrow, it's buried.
Both in the sense of like digging just because badgers make burrows, and also just whenever I talk to someone, it's just I dig a hole for myself.
Yeah.
Badger, I do that too.
Should we turn this into a discussion about sexism?
No, you should read my comment in the chat though.
Hashtag blame MathPig for hashtag Dave's bouncy ass.
There we go.
No, I'm not reading it under no circumstances.
Too late.
Seraphim says Mariana Trench.
Who is this Mariana anyway?
And does she have a Brazilian?
No. Do we have any good answers, or should we move on to the next dumb question?
Yeah, I think we should move on to the next one.
I think so.
I thought my answer was a good answer.
I think Orla's was
I
better.
gave you a good answer. Nice try, thief.
Yes. Right. Well, I managed to screw that up.
Done, Dave. What have you done?
Shh.
The beautifulness of live streams.
Yes. Question 315. Do you still have any friends from schools or college?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was easy.
Yeah.
Sort
Yes.
of.
I thought it'd be a quick question.
One.
One. How many
Yeah.
friends did you have at school/college?
One.
So you're 100% retention rate.
Yeah,
That's more impressive than I've got.
There was a whole group of primary school friends who have all drifted off all over the place doing other stuff, and there was basically one guy that I hung out with in secondary school who is I was playing Jedi Academy with last night.
Interesting. Let's go back here. Betsy says hashtag bring back floppy hair. I don't know what he's talking about. Betsy also says yes. Joan says yes, 1. Seraphim says yes. I call my friend from 3rd grade my soulmate. Sammy says yes, 1. Why is it only 1 friend people have kept? You kept more than 1 friend?
Yeah.
What was in your pants at the end of the bed?
What?
Friends I had in high school. I've got one friend who I sort of keep track with from college. I've got at least 4 or 5 friends I keep track with from high school. I don't have any friends I am in contact with from primary school, though.
Yeah.
There was one.
Oh,
guy,
no, that's not true. That's a lie. I just lied. I've got one friend from primary school I still keep contact with.
I bet you counted them as later school because you went there as well.
I did because we were still in high school together, so yeah.
There were some people from college I was still in contact with for a while. There was that one guy who hacked the college network.
People shouldn't do that. It's bad.
It was funny, though.
Usually is. Sammy says yes, 1. Nerdy says no, only uni. Seraphim says college, mostly dudes who wanted into my pants. Still friends with a few.
Yeah, and I said, well, what did they want in there?
What did they want in there?
Anyone who's
I
watched
suppose
me
it
on
was
stream
buried
met
treasure.
2 of my friends from high school.
Was it the buried treasure? Yeah, there it is.
Steve and Stacey both appeared in streams that I've been on, so
Yes.
I went to school with both of them. So,
Alright, say that again, Jen.
2 of my friends from high school have appeared on streams I've been in because when I've been in Albany and I've stayed with them, Steve and Stacey have both appeared on streams, so they've come in and spoken and stuff like that. So some of the people in the chat would have met them. So
He tortures people.
they're 2 of my friends. Yeah, people I went to school with. So.
Morton, we were getting on so well.
I'm going to read that. Morton says, "Good Cripple, sorry we are late. We were just finished watching the new Disney Star Wars movie. Badger's favourite, I'm sure."
Why? Why did you?
Was it good? Was it good, Morton? Huh?
No,
Good,
it was not.
No, it was not.
I actually missed out on my high school reunion this year because of COVID.
Yes.
I missed out on
It was
mine.
before it was before the social distancing, but because I was sick and there was a possibility it was COVID, I couldn't go.
I missed out on mine because I didn't want to go to it.
That's
did.
hardly
That was the
missed
annoying
out, is
part.
it?
I wanted to go.
It's not missing out if you just don't really want to go there in the first place.
Yeah.
Everyone I went to school with was an asshole.
Morazia
Well, there was
says,
that
I
one-
wish I could
except for
say
one
that, but
person
most of
you
mine
went
were really
there.
nice.
No, he's an asshole as well. I just like him.
he's just,
I mean, there was certainly a fair ton of fucking assholes because I was bullied and shit like that, but I still had lots of friends who I got along really well with. Actually, some of them I get along better with now than when I did when I was actually in high school. So
I found
Actually,
out
if
with
you
one or
want
two people.
yeah.
If you want to hear what the one guy that I still talk to from school sounds like, if you go to my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/BadTemperedBadger, you could find a video which now YouTube won't open so that I can check the title, so I'm just going to guess at what it was called Long Lieberdick Kurdish.
That still made no sense.
Yeah, it's there's a game called Hold Fast Nations at War that me and my friend have been playing on live stream, and there's a load of random quotes in it that because they're in foreign languages, we don't know what they are, so we've just guessed what they sound like and put them as the video titles.
Here you go. But Morton's just complimented my streams. He said he liked a lot of things about it, but it's not any worse than one of my streams.
unless he thinks your streams are bad, in which case
He doesn't. He loves my streams.
no, he doesn't. He loves your streams. Everyone loves your streams.
No, they
Dave.
don't.
They don't. wrong with these people?
Uh,
Let me at them.
Mama Atheist says, I'm still friends with someone I've known since we were 4. And then we're mostly talking about Seraphim's buried treasure.
Yep.
See, I'm wondering how many people noticed that I got away without answering where I bury treasure.
No, I noticed. I didn't think you were going to speak up, so I didn't ask. Do you have a place?
The same place Ron Swanson buried his treasure in Pawnee, Indiana.
Well, now you've just told everybody.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows
I've buried a
where
substantial
Swanson
supply
buried
of gold around the city.
Mm.
Or have I?
Or have I?
Have you?
Yes.
That have you, Badger?
I don't know, have I?
No, that was my question.
If I have, can someone tell me where the fuck it is?
Oh, yes, please.
Everyone tell us where Badger's buried treasure is.
Yeah,
Sarah,
not
Badger.
Badger.
It's fun.
No.
And tell Dave that his ass is bouncy.
Where would Badger never think of going? See, that's the where you got to think here and you bury it somewhere where
Anywhere where there's other people.
No. He's a simple Badger.
I think I've narrowed it down to London.
How would he have got it there? He'd have to pay for
No,
it.
I actually,
Underground tube. I don't know.
I've just figured out the chain of events.
Amanda's accusing you of not answering your own questions, Dave.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Buried the treasure. I think I must have buried the treasure at one of those Star Wars theme parks, and then Disney took over, and I never went back.
You don't want it back.
He has answered some of his questions, though, Amanda.
Dave, where would you bury treasure?
We're not on that question. We're on the next question.
I don't give a shit.
We're
You didn't answer that
We
question.
are now on question 316. And you don't even know what 316 is. Right.
Because you haven't answered.
It's a number.
Yes. Right. Question 316. If you were given
You avoid the last one, sorry.
if you were given a 1-minute ad slot during the Super Bowl that you couldn't sell, what would you fill it with?
Porn?
I'm pretty.
What would that
pretty sure
achieve?
I'm
I don't like football.
I'm pretty sure some of the ads that run during the Super Bowl are not far off of that.
I know exactly what I'd fill it with.
What?
Come back to me.
Come back to you. Bub.
I have no idea. I'm shitty.
A political advert for Biden.
Oh,
No, you're not, though. Ah, dear.
But if you do a political advert, I probably shouldn't say that.
What? Political advert for Trump?
No, I said if you do a political advert for Biden, you could combine it with an advert for dementia awareness.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we may have to come back to this one.
Do you want my answer?
Go on.
A 1 minute commercial. Promoting the theme park Dinosaur Adventureland.
Well, if you're going to do that, you'd also have to have an advert promoting learning life resuscitation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Swimming lessons. Yes.
Amanda says... Poor kid. Right. Amanda says she'd make one of those 90s anti-drug commercials, except pro-drugs.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
Do all the drugs, kids.
Do all the drugs.
Right.
you could.
You ready for my answer, Dave?
What about little pro not playing contact sports because you can get bad head injuries?
That'd work.
Injuries.
Injuries, sorry.
Do you want my answer, Dave?
Go on.
Just for the entire minute, I would have up on that big screen just badger, 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 mushroom, badger, 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 mushroom, badger.
I would have to hack it and put the hamster dance on.
Or the little guy with his motorbike.
Well, if you're gonna, let's say like the keep it in the vein of what Amanda was suggesting from the chat, like that, you could do something like one of those similar, like old drug commercials, just like something with an egg being scrambled. So this is your brain. This is your brain on flat Earth.
MathPig says, Mama Atheist screaming, climate change is real, dickheads, for a minute.
I'm surprised. Surprised MathPig didn't say Amanda screaming, suck my cock.
I'm not convinced that would have the effect the effect you wanted.
No, you're right. No, it's not the same, is it? It's not without context. It doesn't work.
I think we should have Amanda screaming that Dave should answer his own questions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She does.
That's your own fucking question, Dave.
Right, next question.
Yeah, but she's not here to make you do it, so we have to answer your own question.
And he's trying to do it again. He's not answering.
I know.
Dave, what would you put on the Super Bowl?
I have absolutely no idea. Maybe an advert for Liberty U. Problem is, a minute's not enough to teach anyone
Yeah,
anything.
no, I went to pray to you too, Jeff.
PragerU works.
Yeah.
Why have we got
What
crabs?
the hell, man?
Patriot Bible College.
Well, that's what Liberty U is, a Bible college.
Yeah. Ah, but it didn't have a star pupil like Kent Ovid, no.
Dave's bouncy ass. Oh, well done, Matt.
Just for a whole minute, Dave's bouncing up.
So I was paraphrasing Amanda. I'm sorry.
Right, you have to turn that off. It sounds gone weird. Your sound is screwed. Question 317.
That sounds lovely.
No, it's not. Question 317. What is the sexiest and least sexy name?
Oh.
I don't know. Are names actually sexy though?
Yes.
Some can be.
I mean, they can be if the person attached to it is it turns you on.
Yes.
But is the name itself actually sexy?
There are certainly
I would
names.
actually now argue that Karen is an unsexy name.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's become unsexy because of the
Yes, but
memes
this
that
is the
surround
point.
Karen.
This is why names become sexy and unsexy. This is,
I used to like a girl called Karen, and it all went terribly.
Yeah, I don't think I could label a name as being sexy or unsexy.
I'd like to say the name is Jeff. Jeff is sexy, but given my track record, I think it's probably the most unsexy name.
I don't know.
See, I like names with 3 syllables. This is a sexy name for people of the male persuasion. I like names with 3 syllables, like and a lot of kind of deeper sounds. Like basically, I'm saying Ron Swanson is a sexy name.
Ron Swanson. MathPig says the most sexy equals MathPig and the least sexy equals Dave. Morton says it must be Jen and then Dave. Seraphim says Seraphim is the sexiest. My real name is less sexy. You see, I would argue that names like Mildred are unsexy.
Oh, no, Mildred is not sexy.
You kind of got a point. It just sounds like mildew.
Mildew.
Yeah.
So is that coming from the George and Mildred show, is it?
It sounds like something you find in the back of your cupboard when you forgot to clean for 2 decades.
Right. Linda says the sexiest name equals Mama Atheist, the least sexiest equals Badger.
Hey.
Sammy says Samuel, but he doesn't say whether that's the least sexy or the most sexy. I mean,
Seeing as he goes by Sammy, I'm going to assume Samuel he doesn't find sexy.
Mm.
But Sammy is. That's what I'm assuming where he's going there.
So are all names that begin with an M unsexy? Can anyone think of a sexy name beginning with M?
Marcel?
All I can think.
Marcellus Wallace.
Melissa isn't a bad name.
You can't play that video without sound. And if you play it with sound, I'll mute you.
Badger.
Come on, Badger, smell the sexy.
What? Say again?
Sounds
I said,
really
come on.
sassy towards Mel. Now that I think about
Yeah.
it.
Scientist Mel is sexy, so
Mel's
Melissa,
not bad. Yeah. Mando?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, you done it now, Dave.
Cletus is the least sexy, apparently.
Cletus the slack-jawed yoke.
Apparently, Seraphim's name is.
That-
Apparently, Seraphim's name is Jeff.
Okay.
He says that much. That's my name.
All right.
I mean, what about your traditional stripper names?
I really dislike most stripper names.
Candy with a K and an I.
Most stripper names that I've heard sound really trashy.
I have no problem with the name Candy. A K and an I, I've got a problem with.
My name was ruined by the movie Forrest Gump, so.
What are you talking about, Danae?
Yeah, that. You have no idea how much I've copped that.
Shut the butt off.
And you think that was a wise idea to reveal that to us, do you?
I don't give a shit.
Weakness.
Could be worse. Shit. The shit I got. Hey Ben, how long you been gay? 3 up all night writing that one?
Now you say that. I used to do work for a radio station that their call sign was it 6AY, something like that. Anyway, they got a couple of cars with it wasn't a big radio station, it was a country one, but they got a couple of cars and got their symbol painted on the side of their cars. But the way the company did it, that painted it on the side of the cars, meant that the door handles went across in the same spot as the 6 did, so it looked like gay.
Yeah.
So in the 6AY radio, it looked like gay radio.
Oh, down, thank you.
It was absolutely awesome.
See, Fernando used to be a sexy name.
What was?
Hang on. Fernando used to be a sexy name, and then that song got made about it.
You mean
And then
the
it kind of
awesome
stopped being a
ABBA
sexy
song,
name.
Fernando?
Yeah, and then it's kind of stopped being a sexy name. But then more recently, the YouTube animator called Sexual Lobster started doing a series about a chap called Fernando, and it became sexy again.
So fickle.
Did ABBA made Fernando sexy?
Yes, that's the song. He says he claims that song made them unsexy.
I'm not a big
You
ABBA
reckon?
fan.
I will dispute you, Badger. I like ABBA.
It just makes everything worse.
Oh, okay. People are going to hassle me about liking ABBA.
ABBA's alright. I like ABBA.
Oh, good.
But I like a lot of shit music. So.
Well, way to turn that around, Dave.
So even though you like it, you know it is objectively bad.
Would you like to get? I can get onto the shit metal I like.
Ammunition tonight.
Amanda
I have
says.
given you guys so much ammunition tonight. I might regret the stream.
Amanda says.
Notes taken here. Jenny and ABBA. Okay, future reference.
Jenny.
Yeah, so somebody's going to put those two together.
Amanda says Darcy is my sister-in-law's name, and she's the fucking worst. Linda says Hyacinth.
No, I've never heard of a woman called Darcy. I thought it was a dude's name.
Yeah.
This is not working for me today. Let's try that.
No. Linda says
Lexi is sexy.
Linda says Hyacinth is the worst.
Oh,
Yeah,
that name
let's
is
just
totally
be
destroyed
okay,
by
isn't
a
it?
lady.
Yeah, Hyacinth as a name just sounds like somebody who, if you touch them, they will disintegrate.
Sammy says Lexi is sexy.
Fair.
Okay, Amanda. Dave listed Meatloaf as one of his most influential artists. I love Meatloaf. Meatloaf is fantastic.
Meatloaf is really good.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Actually, a bit of gravy and some peas and
I knew you were gonna go there with that.
I know, but I actually do like Meatloaf. The song, the singer.
I've never
The-
had.
the
I've never
artist.
had the non-musical variety of Meatloaf.
Really?
No. Also,
But it has to be made, right? Most people make them really dry, and dry meatloaf is just, even when you add the gravy, it's not nice. But if it's made right, and it's a nice moist meatloaf, then with that lovely word moist, they're quite nice. I'm very excited about this conversation. Next question, Dave.
Right.
Oh shit.
Question 318. Can censorship ever be justified?
Ooh.
Ooh. I'm going to say tentatively yes. I mean, there are certainly aspects where you'd rather have it than not have it. Especially when you're talking about stuff that might become visible to minors and things like that.
Dave,
Yeah.
can we define censorship for this question?
Yeah.
We have a very, very specific definition of what we mean by censorship.
No.
Shit.
Which is why you have to hedge your bets on it, because if you're just, I mean, controlling what age groups can see things is still censorship, but it's needed.
If you're going to find a
Oh, I cannot spell. I've right. I'm gonna put in the chat what I just searched for.
Oh god.
How would you say that?
seize your shop.
Apparently, I can't type. All right, let's go with Merriam-Webster.
You go.
shall
Math
we?
Pig says
I'm-
justified. Go on.
Whatever.
Oh, fuck off.
What is he
Webster.
justified about? Because
Censorship is justified. Censorship can be justified.
okay. Yeah, I think it can be as well.
I think so. I think it can be in certain instances, yes.
Oh, fuck off, Webster. That's not helpful.
We're going to have moved on from this question before you found a definition you're satisfied with.
Definition of censorship: the institution, system, or practice of censoring. Thanks.
There we go.
Okay.
So onto that definition, yeah, tentatively yes again. So,
Right. I'm just gonna go with yes in extremely limited cases and
Extremely limited
almost-
cases. So you think all children should have complete access to hardcore pornography?
He's going to call that a limited case.
This is what you're arguing for right now, Badger. We may have broken Badger.
Fuck off.
The problem is we don't call it censorship when we agree with it.
yeah.
That's the issue. We really
do.
No. Well,
Oh no.
with
Oh,
some-
no, I don't think people do by and large.
Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah.
Depends whether they have a negative connotation associated with the word censorship in their mind.
yes.
Yeah, no, the badger's right there. See, I don't. I see censorship not as a necessary evil, but a necessary tool in modern society.
Yes.
It's not
I
something
think it's a
that
tool. I think it's
we
very
should
much.
we should try to avoid it where we can, but it is necessary.
No, I don't. I'm not even convinced you should necessarily try and avoid it. I think it needs to be firmly incorporated. I think it needs to be open and honest about what you're censoring and how you're censoring and the reasons you're censoring.
Well, yes,
I mean, it's like
Okay.
last
Yeah, I
night
agree with you there.
in Mathpig's chat, we had Darth Dawkins in there, and he was offered a chance to have a dialogue, and he didn't want that.
Censor Darth Dawkins.
According to his 24 goddamn troll bots that came in afterwards, yes. But the point is, he was offered a chance to engage and the terms to engage, and from that point forward, he was shut down. From once he chose not to, right? And that is a form of censorship within the context that you're working. And I think there are lots of places in society that really would need conversations shutting down. Because they shouldn't be there, they shouldn't be like that. But that doesn't mean to say I haven't worked out a way that I haven't worked out anything I am satisfied with, because I think society on the whole needs somewhere. It needs a place where nothing is censored. There is a place and a time for everything that has to be made available, but that's not everywhere.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. Well, as Darth found out the other day, my channel's not a democracy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that actually, I right, Dave.
Yeah.
You absolute knob. I'm going to join in with your little line of reasoning there and say I agree with you to an extent that there should be, if censorship takes place, there should be a place where that censorship does not take place.
Yes.
For example, Jeff, when Darth Dawkins appeared in your chat and was running his mouth and you were trying, now get the fuck out. I put my email address in the chat and said, if you want to come on and have a discussion with someone, here is a place where you can do that uncensored.
Yeah.
And he didn't email me.
No. He's not interested.
Yeah,
Because my email address is
He's a fucking troll. That's because he's a fucking troll. That's all it is.
So they're quite good. We got quite good conversation there, and we've all agreed that censorship can be justified.
In very limited cases, yeah.
Right. Did I miss anything in the chat? Mostly no. Right.
Oh, Seraphim says a thing, which means I have to do a thing. Give me a sec. You carry on, I'll just do the thing.
You'll carry on. Okay. Question 319. Have you ever appeared on normal TV? I use the word normal here. The news does count. But I'm trying to differentiate between web. and
Apparently,
yeah.
yes, I think I have been actually. But I think there was a. I wasn't interviewed nothing. I think there was just footage of me for some local news article. So I was in the background.
I
or
was
something.
part of an advertisement, but I never actually saw the advertisement. I was on holidays, and they were filming for this advertisement, and I was part of the crowd who was at this particular beach who got filmed and got to say things for the ad. But I never actually saw it because it was never played where I lived.
Oh! You see, this is the weird thing about me forgetting things. I think I was in a film.
You're in a film?
I think I was in a crowd scene for a film.
We said normal TV, not Pornhub, Dave.
Is he talking about Badger? I figured it was the Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel.
Who remembers that old reference?
I remember the Discovery Channel. It's in that song about let's do it like they do on the Discovery
Bad Touch.
By the Bloodhound Gang. And if you've never heard of that band, you're probably a better person for it.
Ooh. Seraphim's stepfather was...
Better than Abaddon.
Seraphim's grandfather was in 1994 when the dam burst in her hometown.
Yeah. Actually, I think I was.
So, Amanda,
Wait a
you corrupted.
Go on, Badger.
I think I was on the news once.
What were you arrested for?
It was when it was when the Harlem Shake was thing.
Well, like 40 years ago.
No, not the Harlem Shake, the meme Harlem Shake.
Okay.
You know, everybody do the Harlem Shake, and then everybody starts dancing with like weird costumes on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I appeared on the news during that when they were like showing people doing that everywhere.
Can you dance?
Of course, I could dance. I'm
What
a
a odd
badger.
question.
Actually, I do know enough of time I was on local news. FA Cup fourth round tie at Eastleigh Football Club, a non-league club, and it's the first time they got that far, and they were interviewing people going to the game. And I was interviewed, but I was thinking they probably interviewed hundreds of people. But I found out later I was on the local news.
Excellent.
Remember that kid who was on the news? He was on the American news. He became a meme for a while.
The Turtles one?
Not the Turtles one. They were talking about fireworks. And the guy just goes up to this kid, the news guy just goes up to the kid and says, well, what's the best kind of firework? The kid looks at him. Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Jen, what were you going to say?
It doesn't matter now. It's typed it in chat.
Oh.
Oh, shit, what have I done?
What have you done?
Oh, no, I'm okay. No, I thought I clicked something.
Morton said yes, and I did, but not consent to it, them bastards. Now they're discussing Pornhub. No one asked a question about whether or not you were... Right, now I'm going to have to add a question to my list about Pornhub. Have you ever been on Pornhub?
No, but maybe by the time you actually get round to asking that question, I might have been.
Yes.
By the time he gets around to asking that question, we might all be dead.
Yes.
True.
Bub, did you have an answer?
I might have appeared on the news. This was January 2016. There was an anti-Trump protest in Columbus, Ohio that I was at, and the police mass pepper sprayed us. So you might be
they're lovely, aren't they?
I thought pepper spray was meant to be an individual thing.
Oh no, they had
No.
giant canisters and they just splashed it out over everybody. Just as effective.
I saw a great video of the riot police spraying this pepper spray into the wind.
That sounds...
Only the wind was against them.
It was wonderful.
I bet. Right. Question 200? No, we're way past 200. Question 320. Have you ever been caught in the act by the police?
No.
No, definitely I have.
Have I ever done it? Oh, no, I have. I've shoplifted once.
But you weren't caught.
Oh, no, caught in the act. Does that include speeding?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Oh, yes. A couple of times. Speeding. But it's the only thing I've ever been caught in the act with police is speeding.
I've never. Amazingly, I was never caught speeding.
Never.
Which is amazing because I used to ride my motorcycle like a complete fucking dick. So,
I hear there is a top speed on the cameras.
See, I'm trying to figure, because I've only ever heard the term or the phrase "caught in the act" as a euphemism for caught having sex.
Right, that's how the question was intended. But these have gone another way with it.
No, I haven't.
Oh, so you're asking if we've ever been caught by the cops having sex?
Yes. But I was quite happy with it.
I try not to be caught by myself having sex.
The question is, Bub,
No,
have you ever...
I definitely had sex in places where I could have got arrested for it.
The question is, Bub, have you ever been caught doing anything else in the act by the police?
Pulled over for speeding a few times. What else? I don't think anything else. No, just speeding.
The speeding.
I'm boring. I'll admit it.
Badger,
Yeah.
what have you done? You're a
I'm
criminal
saying-
mastermind.
Yeah, but you see, because I'm a criminal mastermind, I can't really answer the question because they haven't caught me.
They must have got you on something simple. Tax evasion.
No. We were me and some mates were all climbing along the roofs of all the shops, and all the police showed up. Most of us just vanished. They talked to one guy, and they were like, "Yeah, somebody says you break into the shops," and then the guy just got out his camera and was like, "No, we're just climbing up stuff. Here it is. Look." No, it went, "All right, we'll just stop doing it in you."
Seraphim says yes, speeding. Morton says speeding, but everyone seems to have done. Mathbig says banned from driving for a year before he got his license.
How did you manage that? Now I want to know.
That's a story. A guy that I know, he has had to retake his driving test because he had to get a new driving license because he had to send it away to get a new picture on it or something, and he sent away a full driving license for cars, vans, trucks, towing trailers, all the business, and they sent him back with his picture and details on a go-kart driving license. That can only be issued to people under 16 to allow them to drive go-karts at rally events.
Yeah.
That didn't exist when he was under 16. So then he got back in touch with them and said, "Excuse me, what the fuck have you done to my driving license?" And they went, "Well, you're not on record as ever having a driving license, so you'll have to retake the test."
Oh, fucking hell. My dad's driving license, he had to get a new one at, I want to say 70. Whatever age it is, you've got to get a new one. Right? At that point, he had about 30 classifications on his license of different things he was allowed to drive because they've all been grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Right? My driving license has got a car with trailer, and a small van. He can drive diggers and JCBs and minibuses and reasonable sized buses, all because he was just that. When the licenses were brought in, anyone that had a driving license automatically got it.
I could drive the BadgerMobile.
There's no such thing.
There needs to be a BadgerMobile.
How do you know?
There needs to be one.
There needs to be one.
Mm.
How do you know there's no?
It'd be very conspicuous.
Would it though? Right.
It would have to be black with a white stripe.
I just gotta say thank you, Intellectual Iconoclasm, because I just remembered I haven't paid my car license.
Sammy said too many times to remember.
How do you spell mobile as in Batmobile?
Mobile.
That's mobile as in mobile phone.
I also have no idea where the bill is.
Intellectual Iconoclasm says, speeding and insurance that last that day. This last one had my boys in my throat when he pointed out lapsed insurance. My boys in my throat. My boys in my throat?
Okay.
That's something I don't understand.
Yeah, you mean his testicles.
He's very flexible.
Yeah.
I've tried that and I can't reach.
How was I the only one who knew what he meant by that?
There you go, Dave.
I can't show
there
that.
We go.
I can do that.
The BadgerMobile. There we go.
Is that your car, Badger?
White stripe.
Oh, it could be.
It could be. With the number plate Badger.
Yeah.
Badger, number plate. No. No, I'm an idiot.
Right. The last question for today.
Ooh.
The deep philosophical question.
Okay. Okay.
Would you rather have a dragon or be a dragon?
Oh.
Yes.
Is the dragon friendly to you and, you're...
I think on the scale of a dog.
What kind
On a
of
scale of
dragon?
dog. I think I'd rather have one.
So I'd be tempted to say have one, but say on a scale of a dog, or you can't always trust a dog.
And I was tempted.
That dragon's only got to get pissed at you once and you're screwed.
So if the dog shits on the carpet and then pretends it wasn't it, then does the dragon burn your house down and pretend it wasn't it?
Yes.
Also, the badger will burn your house down.
The badger.
Badgers burn houses down,
Yeah.
do they, Badger? Are you trying to tell us something, Badger?
Well, I said badger instead of dragon, so fuck it, I went with it.
Mathpig says, be a dragon. Having a dragon sounds like a lot of work. There's a lot of shoveling
Be a
shit.
dragon.
There's a lot of shoveling shit.
Are we talking like a dragon? Are we talking a dragon that's of kind of dog level intelligence?
Yes. No. Well, no. Well,
you have one.
if you have one, yes. If you are one, it's your level of intelligence.
Oh, I'll be one then, because I want to be like the Skyrim kind of ones.
I can't remember what the Skyrim ones are like.
Actually, no. The Skyrim ones.
How about being a person who can turn into a dragon?
Nope, that's not part of it.
Actually, the
Stick
Skyrim
within the
ones,
rules.
The Skyrim ones, the mythology's kind of wonky. So actually, because they've got like a whole soul connected to the universe thing, which is a bit, it's too much.
You're just an
gonna go
animal.
with like a,
No.
I'm
I'm telling you what. This is the choice.
I would go with the kind of dragon that's kind of it's just like a species of thing.
Yes.
That is.
Yes. I mean, we're talking about something the size of maybe an elephant. No, bigger. About twice the size of an elephant.
Giraffe size?
Twice the size of an elephant.
Twice the size of an elephant.
Yeah.
African or Indian elephant?
African. I've no fucking clue how big either one is, so I'd pick one at random and sound confident.
So the African's the bigger ones of the two. So
Badger is not house trained.
He's house burnt.
Morathia says, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with you as a dragon, Mathpig?"
All right. So according to Dave's parameters, come on.
It's big enough for a couple of people to ride.
Okay. According to Dave's parameters, you are this big.
An elephant size.
Is that further away or smaller?
That's 2 African elephants.
we're doing the father Ted small.
Yes.
Far
Yeah.
away.
Far away. These are small. Those are far away.
There we go.
I still think my best one is when he's when Father Ted's walking home and the farmer's leaning over his fence and goes, "Ah, Father Ted, I hear you're a racist now."
Yeah, I know.
Should we all be racist now, sir? Should we all be racist now, Father?
What is that? The church's official line on that now.
Where we got up to here? Badger's not house trained. We did that. We'll keep iterating that Badger is not house trained.
Burn your house down.
Morton says, "Have a dragon, of course. Feeding it would be cheap. Lots of flat earthers around."
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sammy says,
Although, would they get much feed off a flat earther?
"You can eat lots."
Can I have inane dragon?
No.
Can I just have him?
I'm not being fun. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Jen. If I had a dragon, I wouldn't feed him junk food like that.
Sammy said,
Hey, you can feed them anti-vaxxers, but they might catch something.
Yes. Sammy said,
Can
although
dragon-
saying that, if you announced that you were feeding anti-vaxxers to dragons, there might be a lot less anti-vaxxers.
That's true.
Well, that's
Is vaccinated against dragons?
No.
Can dragons catch the COVID?
Okay, now you've just given me a flashback to my childhood. I had a book where somebody got spiked armor to go and fight a dragon.
Okay.
So when the dragon could put him squeezed around him, he got pierced on him and died.
Did the dragon not realize that he was spiky and stop?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Well, they are stupid, apparently.
Dragon Eagle butterfly.
I'm going to tell a name dragon that you said that.
Scary. Again,
Don't do that.
He probably won't remember. He's probably drunk.
Depends on the lore you have. I mean, most lore dragons are actually quite intelligent, aren't they?
They're not. I told you, a dog. It's either if you've got the pet, it's the equivalent of a dog, and or it's your intelligence.
So you're the one who says the name dragon is like a dog.
No, I'm describing the situation we are questioning now. I didn't think this one would be such a controversial topic. Well, according to Hovind, dinos were dragons, so you could be a dinosaur. By that logic, the mass of an African elephant would be almost twice the size.
An African elephant?
Yep, that's what he said. Afdican.
African elephant.
So Hovin's saying they're he's saying dinosaurs are dragons rather than lizards now.
Yeah.
He still doesn't know what the fuck they are, does he?
No.
Does he know what he is?
Does he know what he is? He's one of God's special little creatures.
He's special.
Very much
damn
so.
special, alright.
Right. And on that note, I am going to say thank you very much for coming. A thank you to Badger, to Jen, to Jeff, to Bub, and remote thank you to Mel. And thank you to everyone in the chat who actually stuck with us. And we will see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.